Hey fellas, how you doing? Thank you for joining me in the newly decorated den. I must admit, it is great to be in here. I did mention before the decorating started that I would keep a nod to the old boats that used to be on this wall. I haven't done that so far. I'm just enjoying this new decoration and the simplicity of it. So maybe we'll just stick with this for a little while. I have got, I'm sure you can see there, a little air pocket, and I've a fella coming round later today just to put that right. So on to the shave. I'm putting on a little bit of Proraso white, and I've got a new razor to use and a new brush today to go with the new den. So the brush to start with is from Mr. Murray's Grooming Products. It is a very nice looking brush indeed, in the blue and yellow. The style is based on an old Ever-Ready brush. It is a 26mm brush and it has in a G9 knot from Frank Shaving, which is a knot that has a lot of backbone. The razor today I've got the Yaqi Sputnik in this lovely blue colour. There we are, just catching the light there to show it off to its best effect. It does have Yaqi DLC written on it, but it's quite subtle, just on the end there. Very, very nice indeed. The razor blade I've got to go with that is a very good blade for me. It's a Willys blade made in India. And the soap today is from the Stirling Soap Company, and it is Ozark Mountain. And we shall just get going and dip the brush in some water. Give it a shake, a good shake, and take it straight to the puck, and we'll start to load up this brush. As I said, this G9 is a knot with a lot of backbone. I don't have another brush that has as much backbone as this, so I think with this brush you will probably fall into one of two camps. You will either love it because you like a lot of backbone, or you will not like it because you don't like a lot of backbone. My first shave with it was a face lather, and I must admit it wasn't the best shave for me, but I have lathered up a few times just in a bowl in the hope that the knot will open up and break in a little bit and become a little bit easier to use and have a little less backbone. So we'll try it today. It's very soft on the tips. And again, you see, I've done this before. Even though I shook the brush really well, I'm finding there's a lot of water flowing through. I've already got it dribbling down my arm. I never really had this issue with some of the G3 brushes that I have, things like the Sinbad and the Tuxedo, but for some reason on these higher generation knots, it seems to happen for some reason. So I'll add a little drop more water to the tips. It is getting better, this brush. But I find it to be not as smooth as some of my other brushes. And of course, with that extra backbone, excuse me guys, I'm just going to turn the light on. I thought the light was a bit odd in here. See, I'm getting soap everywhere. I'm going to turn the light on, guys. There we go, that's a little bit better. So I was saying, the brush is getting better. It's not as smooth as comfortable. It's not as smooth and comfortable as some of the other brushes I have. Because of the backbone in it, I find I'm actually pushing more to face lather, and I'm pushing slightly past the tips, and I'm finding that to be uncomfortable. So for me, this is a knot with a lot of scrub, which you might like, but I find particularly on my neck, it makes me a little bit sore, so I'm trying not to do that. There's quite a high glue bump in this knot, which of course makes the fibre in the middle shorter and stiffer. But yeah, when I get to about there, guys, there's no way of getting around it. I'm just finding this brush a little bit uncomfortable. I'm also finding that when I'm spreading the lather on my face, I'm almost taking as much off as I'm putting on. And as I push on the brush, it's forcing the lather out of the bottom of the knot. So far guys, this knot is not for me at all. But of course, your mileage may vary. You may have an entirely different opinion, because we are not all alike, and that is something to be celebrated. But I can't seem the last 3 times I've tried to build up a super thick lather on my face, because as I said, I'm wiping a certain amount of lather off every time I go like that. I find it a strange brush, and personally, and that's all my shaves can be, I find the backbone to be excessive. As I said, your mileage may vary. You may absolutely love the G9 knot. I seem to have got lather all over me. Haven't got any on the wall, so that's good. The soap is very nice, guys. It smells of pine, and it's just very fresh. Very nice indeed. So I'm going to start with the Yaqi Sputnik. And I'm finding this to be a nice razor. I think it is a medium aggressive razor. But if you get the right angle, it does feel very smooth. And there is about the angle, just about that 30-degree mark. It has got a large blade gap on it. It is 1.25 millimeters. So because of that, a little bit of the comfort that I normally get with the Willys blade is taken away. And I'm finding with that large blade gap that I want to stretch my skin more, and especially over my top lip. It is a high grade aluminium razor, comes with a lovely stamp. And just at the moment it's available on AliExpress from the Yaqi shop for a few pence under £60 with free shipping. And that was in this very nice blue colour. This is not a new razor, it's been around for a few years now, but I'd not seen one in the blue, and that was what prompted me to buy it. There we are, very easy first pass there. I've got a little bit of slate on the window ledge here. I thought that was a nice decorative touch, but I realised I didn't like putting my razors down on the slate itself. So I've got this piece of plastic here, and I'm just hoping that that will flatten out in time and you won't see that curvature. Okay, so back to the brush. I love the brush handle. I do like the brush handle, but I don't like the amount of soap that's coming out of the bottom of this knot. It is comfortable to use like this, but I'm barely touching the tips to my face. I do hope that it will become easier to use in time. And it may be a brush that I just use for bowl lathering. But look, you can see I'm getting into a hell of a state with this. And although it's a new brush to me, at the moment, I think it's highly likely that I will be drilling this out and putting in a different knot. But we shall see how it goes. I won't do that for quite some time yet. And I will try and use it more and more and just see if it becomes a little better, because certainly like this in a brushing fashion, now that is very pleasant. So perhaps that is the way to use it. Let me know if you've got one, how you like to use it, whether you like to scrub with it. Yeah, I really find that uncomfortable, but this is very nice. So perhaps that is the secret to these brushes with more backbone. For me, you may be entirely different. So I've got some notes, but I don't have anywhere to put my notes because my glass holder that used to be down there is gone. I've got my glass up there with my toothbrush and things in, and that was where I used to put any notes. So I've got them down here, and I should say that the Sputnik from Yaqi seems to be a copy of two razors. It's certainly very reminiscent of the Hone 15A aluminium razor, and the handle is stylized like Tatara's razors with the dimples. So while it is very nice, it is a copy of other razors. I think I would like to try the Hone. I will have to check to see how big the blade gap is on the Hone razor, and of course the blade gap is only one measurement that we should be taking note of. But it is that blade gap, I think, that's making it a medium aggressive razor rather than a mild razor. It's certainly effective. It weighs in at 52 grams or thereabouts. And it comes with a lovely stand, which I haven't got in here. So for your £60, you're actually getting quite a lot for your money, I feel. The handle is 0.5 millimeters. Didn't quite get myself, I don't think, but there is a need to be careful with that large blade gap. So the handle length is 83.5 millimeters, and it has got a 13.5 millimeter diameter to the handle. And that makes it very nice to hold, along with these dimples that work very well indeed. So there we are. I did get myself, bugger. Just goes to show you, any razor you can get yourself with. But I think it's that large blade gap that was responsible for that. Not my fault at all, guys. No, no, no. So I haven't got any styptic or anything like that I can put on that little nick. I haven't got that back in here yet. So I may end up with a piece of tissue paper on my chin. So I'm going to use a little bit of Tobacco Craftsman today. There we are, just a little squirt of that. And to conclude, I would say, that the brush is very comfortable for me using it in a painting fashion, and not comfortable using it to scrub. And the razor itself, very good. But I have other razors that are more comfortable, so we'll try different blades with it, and it may be that a different blade makes all the difference, but I do like these willies and they seem to work very well in a lot of razors. So that is my shave for today. Thank you very much for joining me. You take care and I'll see you soon. And guys, it is good to be back in the den, I must admit. All the best now. Bye bye.